My name's Grace Fornasa. Today we're going to be making Italian meringue. One of the fundamentals of pastry is meringue. There's all different types of meringue. Today we're making Italian meringue, which is egg whites that are whipped with sugar. Made by making sugar that's cooked to softball stage, which is between 238 degrees and 240 degrees Fahrenheit. We cook the sugar because it strengthens the meringue. And instead of using a thermometer, working at Barclay Prime in Philadelphia, my chef taught me this cool trick where you can test if it's at softball stage. I'm going to dip the end of a pastry brush in the sugar and blow a bubble through the hoop. Yeah, I first got into culinary in high school. They have a very good culinary program. It's not pastry, it's just strictly culinary. Mr. Huggins really got me into baking, and Mr. Gallardo. They knew I was interested in pastry, and they didn't, since that wasn't their forte, they actually let me do experiments after school. And one time we tried to make truffles, but it just turned into like a giant chocolate mess. So this is like a medium to stiff peak. I'm going to whip it a little bit longer so it stands straight up. Then we're going to pipe it into fun shapes and show you how you can use it as a garnish. I got my bachelor's degree in the science of pastry arts. I was actually a salutatorian of my class, so that was cool. It was a lot of early mornings and scheduling, basically. There was so much to do that you really had to plan out like every hour of your day. Twice a week you had production, which is a class that really teaches you how to run a bakery. And so you would go in and you'd have to be there by like 5:30, and so you'd wake up at like early. You'd wake up at early, and then you would go to class and you'd be there till about noon, getting everything done. So you had bread station, tart station, cookie station, finishing station, which would be like finishing all the tarts and cakes and all that fun stuff, and cake station, pantry station, and restaurant station. Pantry station, you had to make like large batches of the stuff we used to make everything else. So buttercream, pastry cream, granola, whatever the basis for what we were making. So that was a fun station. And restaurant station, we had 5 different restaurants. So we would prep all the dessert stations in the morning, and then at night the culinary kids would run the dessert stations and plate the desserts. I don't know if it was my favorite, but I was the best at cookie station because it was something that you had to be very organized to do. And a lot of people, the freshmen would come in and they wouldn't understand what to do. And in that environment, it's not just your teachers teaching you, it's your classmates teaching you. So like I was a sophomore and I would have to teach the freshmen what to do, which is good and bad, because if you have someone who doesn't know what they're doing teaching you, then you're going to learn the wrong thing. So I was basically on cookie station like in the beginning of like every term, so I could teach the freshmen what to do, and Chef Gallagher didn't have to worry about what would happen. I graduated with my bachelor's in 2012, but you actually graduate twice if you stay for your bachelor's, because you get your associates first and then you get your bachelor's. So I got salutatorian twice. It was pretty cool. I've worked at a lot of places in Philadelphia. Actually, while we were in school, we had to work too as like an internship. Luckily, I was able to get all paid internships, but it wasn't really like an internship. Like, you weren't treated like an intern. You still had all the responsibilities of a pastry cook, but it was a way for them to save money because they didn't have to pay you as much. Yeah, so I worked at the Union League of Philadelphia, which is the union from the Civil War, their social club. And they actually got like best private club a few years in a row now. And they're opening a place down the shore and a new golf course in South Jersey. Most recently, I worked at Union Square Events, which is part of Danny Meyer's hospitality group, Union Square Hospitality Group. And that was like large volume production and high-end, it's so high-end catering. Like we just did the Robin Hood event, which is this crazy charity event for like millionaires. And like I get there and Bruno Mars is warming up on stage, and then, you know, like Sting just comes up and starts singing with him, and I'm just like, what?